Landr have taken their years of AI mastering experience, they've bundled it up and put it into a plugin so you can load it up, run, and be done. But if you're comfortable, you can do a little bit of the final touches yourself, and we're going to look at that in a bit. There's two ways you can get it. You can buy a perpetual license, and then it's yours forever, and you can do unlimited mastering with the thing. Or if you're a Landr Studio Pro member, you're going to get this with your membership. So you can check in your membership and this plugin should be there. So here's what the Landr Mastering Plugin looks like when you first load it up. It's waiting for our audio playback. And it says for best results, add this plugin to your master channel and play the loudest part of your song. So there's a couple of ways that you can use this. You can use it on the master track of your entire mix. Just make sure it's the last plugin on the master track. Or if you're like me, you can mix down or render your song and then load it into a program like Wavelab or something like that, or even into a new project within your DAW. And that way you kind of have a clean slate. The good thing about loading it in your mix, directly in your mix, is if you do the mastering and you realize, oh, I need to make an adjustment, you can do that right there. And then you can just click the master again and it's going to check it again. But let's just do this for the first time here. We're going to just start the playback and it should listen to our song. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just enable this gain match, and turn up my headphones a bit. And what this is going to do is just allow us to hit bypass. And when we do that, the levels will be in around the same. So let's just hear what it's done right off the bat. And it's put us into this balance setting. Nothing's changed. Just they've put their AI mastering to work here. All right, so it's a good starting point so far. Now, before we get into all of this fun stuff down here, there's one setting that you should check right away, and that's this guy right up here. And one of the nice things about this plugin when you first load it is it has these little overlays so you can read what every little thing does. You can turn that off in your settings here, but it's nice to have it when you're first running this. But we want to check this out right away because this is sort of our sensitivity. And we want to make sure that this little light here stays in the green while we're playing it. It can go into the yellow, but you do not want it to go into the red, and you really don't want it on the white. So let's just see how our levels are. All right, that's pretty good right there. It's staying green. We have decent levels going in. Now let's check out our styles here. So it's put us on balanced right away, which might be what we use most of the time, a nice balanced mix. But let's check out warm, and that's going to give us this sort of vintage sound. We'll switch between all three here. And one thing that I've noticed is when you switch, there's a little bit of like a EQ thing happening. It like filters it for a second and then it goes to the next one. So when we switch, you're going to hear it do that weird thing, and then it's going to go to the proper levels.
And I'm gonna be in trouble.
Now let's say I like the balanced mix, but I still think it might be a little muddy. What I can do is go to this presence here, and that can help us to bring a little more clarity to our vocals. So let's just see what it can do.
Now she's trying to read my flesh, and I'm just trying not to get scratched. All movement
right, that's not too bad right there with just a little bit of presence added. And you'll notice it does say, and this is an important thing, if you're finding that you're adding a lot of presence or any of these settings, you're going to want to go into your mix and adjust those things before you reach this point. And you can easily restart the Master AI engine after you make your adjustments. You just click this, and it's going to listen to your audio all over again and adjust the settings based on whatever changes you made. So it's really easy to do, but let's continue on here with our mastering settings that we've got going on so far. Maybe I want to add a little more low end. Maybe I want to take out some low end. Let's just listen for the low end here.
Always said she's into my brains, but this wasn't what I was thinking. Now she's trying to read my flesh, and I'm just trying not to get stretched. All movement and no signs of life. It looks like her back.
Now, one thing to note, if you double click on any of these controls, it's just going to go back to its default setting. So it's really easy to do that. If you're just playing around and you just want to hear what something's doing and then you find you don't like it, just double click on it and it returns it. But I think I like the equalizer the way it is here. Now let's check out this stereo field setting. And right now it's at 0. So the normal setting. If we go to the left to focus, it's going to focus on the things in the center channel more. So your vocals, your kick drum, snare drum, anything you have in the center is going to focus more on that. If we go to the right, it's going to give us a little bit of separation and widen the mix a little bit. So let's mess around with this, hear what we've got going on. I think for this song, I like a little more focus on it. I'm just going to leave it there for now, and we'll look at some of these other settings we got here. So let's check out the compression here. Obviously, if we start adding more compression, it's going to squash things down more, which means it can increase the overall volume of everything, but it's going to sound squashed. So you want to be very gentle with the compression that you add. But it says right here it's at 5 by default, so I might want to bring it down a little bit. Let's just try that out. All right, so I don't mind it right there. Now we have our dynamics character, and this kind of controls the character of that compression. If we bring it to the left, it's going to make it a fast, punchy compressor. If we bring it to the right, it's going to give a more smooth, softer compression. So let's try that out.
She's always said she's into my brains, but this wasn't what I was thinking. Now she's trying to read my flesh, and I'm just trying not to get stretched. All movement and no sign.
And then we have saturation at the end here. Saturation increases the sense of depth commonly heard in tube and transformer-based equipment. Let's try that out.
Always said she's into my brains, but this wasn't what I was thinking. Now she's trying to read my flesh, and I'm just trying not to get stretched. All movement.
All right, let's just leave it right there. And then you can see we have a loudness control over here. And this controls the amount of your master's overall loudness. Use the LUFS meter to help you target your desired loudness. Play around with it, hear what it sounds like.
She's always said she's into my brains, but this wasn't what I was thinking. Now she's trying to read my flesh, and I'm just trying not to get stretched. All movement and no signs of life. It looks like her back getting me. She's still walking, she's not talking.
So basically it sounds like a limiter on there. If we lower it, it's giving you a little more breath between your transients. If you crank it, it's just going to give you that solid straight line right across. And then also in here, you have a de-esser, and you can change the frequency of the de-esser and how much of it you're going to add. So if you're noticing that there's a little bit of harshness, you want to get rid of it, you can use this de-esser for that, but it's probably best to go back into your mix and adjust whatever element might be giving you the harshness, but we've dialed in our settings here. If I wasn't showing what all of this stuff does, I could probably dial this in like 2 minutes. It's extremely easy to use, very quick, and it sounds great. And like I said, you get this with your Landr Studio Pro membership. So if you're a member, go into your account. If you're not a member, you really should check it out because you get so many great tools with it. Click this video on the screen. You'll get more information, see everything that you get in there. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating. Fist bump. Thumbs up.